salivary amylase tylase starts the digestion, put on hold in the stomach, comes to the duodenum, and pancreatic amylase finalizes.
Barbara O'Neill talks about gut health, emphasizing its significance for overall well-being. She explains that a balanced gut can enhance health, while an imbalanced gut may lead to chronic gastrointestinal problems, which affect around 40% of people worldwide. She outlines the main focus of her talk, which includes the anatomy of the gut, the digestive process, nutrient absorption, and practical tips for improving gut health. Before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss out on future videos.
The mouth is the first organ of digestion. The mouth is the only area that we have say over when it goes in, we have say over what goes in, we have say over the environment surrounding when it goes in. We also have say over how long it's actually in the mouth. And we also have say over how often it goes in. So this is basically the only area that we have total say over. The mouth's pH is an alkaline pH, and there are only 2 food groups that are broken down in the mouth. A lot of people don't even realize that anything starts its breakdown in the mouth. The enzyme that's released in the mouth that breaks down starch is called ptyalin. And ptyalin is what's often called a salivary amylase. The salivary amylase breaks down starch. It doesn't totally break it down. As you'll see as we go down the journey, it begins the breakdown. When children are born, they have no teeth and they have no salivary amylase. And the first teeth children have when they're, or develop, usually at around the age of 7, 8, 9, 10 months, 11, 12 months of age, are 4 top teeth and 4 bottom teeth. And those teeth are called milk teeth. Do you know why? That's all baby should have, is milk. But it's also taste time. That's a good time to let your baby have a stick of celery to have a little suck on. Maybe a little bit of apple in a net bag to have a suck on. Maybe a little bit of cucumber to suck on. Maybe a little bit of steamed bean to suck on. It's taste time. And when baby is slowly introduced to food like that, it gives their gut time to adjust to the new flavorings coming in. The next teeth that come through are the molars. Now the molars come through back here. Molars grind. And when the molars are fully through, then ptyalin is released by the glands in the mouth, and ptyalin breaks down starch. You see, what we grind, that is your grains. So until the molars are there, baby should not have any grain. And what's the first food that mothers are told to give baby as a rule? Cereal, pure starch. And when it goes into the baby's mouth, it usually comes straight out. Because until the baby has teeth, and even when the baby has teeth, because my babies were breastfed for several years, they suck with their tongue and their top lip. That comes down. So when this slop, you know, the pharynx goes in, baby automatically goes like that. And you know what happens to the pharynx? It pops straight out the mouth again because of that action.
The mouth, Barbara explains, is the first organ involved in digestion and is unique because we have control over what and how we eat. In the mouth, the enzyme salivary amylase begins the breakdown of starches. She discusses how babies are first introduced to foods and the importance of giving them the right type of food based on their developmental stage, starting with milk and then progressing to solids like celery or apple for tasting. Additionally, chewing is critical as it breaks down food into smaller pieces, making it easier for the body to absorb nutrients.
You know, children should not be eating till they can sit, till they can feed themselves, until they've got teeth to chew it with. And when children are given slop, you know, they can get to even 3, 4, 5 and they won't eat anything unless it's slop. But when children are given solid food, like what I was saying, when they can sit and suck on it, their little teeth at the front make little chews.
Next, she moves on to the role of the stomach in digestion, highlighting its acidic environment, which is essential for breaking down proteins. The enzyme pepsin is activated in the stomach by hydrochloric acid, which not only helps with protein digestion, but also acts as a defense mechanism against bacteria and fungi on ingested food.
So it is starch that begins its breakdown in the mouth, as long as you've got all your molars. The other food is a saturated fat. Saturated fat begins its breakdown in the mouth. Saturated fat is a combination of short and medium chain fatty acids. And underneath the tongue there are sublingual glands, and they release lingual lipase. And lingual lipase is the enzyme that breaks down the saturated fat. So saturated fat is unique in that the breakdown begins in the mouth. That's the only digestion that happens in the mouth. But something very important also happens in the mouth, and that's chewing. We've got teeth for a reason.
Overall, Barbara stresses the importance of dietary changes for gut health, such as incorporating fiber-rich foods like fruits and vegetables to support healthy digestion.
And the stomach is not an alkaline environment, it is an acid environment, and it's very important that it be an acid environment. You see, the folds that line the stomach are like this, and they are lined with gastric glands, and 2/3 of those gastric glands release mucus. And what that does is that provides a thick mucosa wall protecting the stomach about what is released in here. Now, what's released here is pepsinogen, and the other enzyme that's released there is hydrochloric acid. Now, in an acid environment, pepsinogen and hydrochloric acid unite to release pepsin, and pepsin is the enzyme that breaks down protein. So the only food that's broken down in the stomach is protein, and it's broken down by pepsin. Hydrochloric plays a very important role. You see, hydrochloric acid not only unites with pepsinogen to release pepsin that breaks down the protein, but hydrochloric acid is antifungal, antibacterial. So if any fungus or yeast or bacteria happens to be on the food we're eating, if you've got nice strong hydrochloric acid, it basically annihilates it. And you can see why God meant this union to happen here, because if pepsin was here, pepsin could start breaking down the lining of the stomach. Something also is released here, and that's the intrinsic factor. The intrinsic factor is very important for the absorption of B12.
Managing stress, drinking plenty of water, and consuming fermented foods rich in probiotics like yogurt and sauerkraut are also essential for maintaining a healthy gut environment.
A weakening in the production of hydrochloric acid. Drinking with the meals. You see, digestion is a chemical process, and that whole reaction I just showed you only happens in an acid environment. If people are drinking with their meals, it waters down the acid so you don't get that connection. And it's an American habit, isn't it? Certainly an Australian habit. Michael and I go to a restaurant and the waiter, what's the first thing he asks? What will you drink? No, we won't have anything to drink. We let them put the water there. Okay, that just keeps them quiet. I think it's because people are so busy, they've got no time and they sit to eat. Oh, I haven't drunk. And then they drank water. And a lot of people think they just wash the food down. Wash the food down, they basically wash all their digestive enzymes away. We should be stopping water ideally half an hour before the meal, resume about an hour and a half after the meal. That hour and a half allows time for those digestive enzymes to start their breakdown. If someone's thirsty after a meal, by all means have a mouthful. But large fluid with the meal will water it down. Also, when people are eating every couple of hours, you see, we have one stomach. And that stomach, there's much research to prove this, that one stomach takes 3 to 4 hours to digest. And then that stomach loves a 1-hour rest.
If you found this video informative, make sure to give a like, subscribe, and press the bell icon so that you won't miss out on any future videos.